I'm Stephanie Close. I'm senior editor at RT Book Reviews, and I am here with sci-fi author and blogger John Scalzi. Speaking of your blog, a collection of blog entries has been published recently. Your hate mail will be graded, which is a lot of fun. Can you tell us a little bit about the book? Maybe how you chose the selections to go in there?
Well, one of the things that I wanted to do is I actually wanted it to represent what the blog was like. So I didn't want to have it just one particular theme. It was going to be very focused on whatever. You know, so when we did the design of what was going to be in the blog, sometimes we would have stuff from 2001 right next to stuff from 2008. Sometimes we'd have a very serious article next to a very funny article. And that was keeping with what the blog was like, which is you don't know every day what it is that you're going to get when you go there. So as terms of the selections, I think all I did was pick the ones that I thought actually stood up well. Because when you've been doing a blog for 10 years, there are some things that are just not going to make it. It's just not going to make the cut. But there was a surprising amount of stuff. I was really happy that there was a surprising amount of stuff, even from 10 years back, that was still, I thought, worth reading. So it was just a matter of choosing the stuff that if I wasn't me and I was reading me for the first time, which ones would give me the sort of sense of the feel of that blog. And so that's what I did, just a good sampling.
Okay. Is the photo of the cat with the bacon in the book?
It's on the hardcover, on the backside of the hardcover, but we didn't make it into the trade paperback edition. But if you go to baconcat.com, you will find it there.
You're their patron saint?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Now, I know you write a lot about publishing on the blog.
Yes.
Do you get a lot of feedback from the general public in addition to aspiring authors?
It's mostly from aspiring authors, because aspiring authors are really hungry for knowledge. They want to know what's going on with this business that they want to enter into. But I do think that just even general population people want to know what's going on. People want to know. I mean, that's why so many people are interested in the movie grosses. That's why so many people want to know what's the number one album on the charts. And so to get that sort of backstage information makes them feel like a more informed reader, like a more informed consumer. So while it is really the people who are wanting to become part of the process, I think even people who are just readers find it really interesting.
Yeah, people like to see how the sausage is being made.
Right, exactly. And we keep warning them, the sausage is not meant to be viewed before it's time to eat it.
It's not a pretty process.
It's not a pretty process. But, when it comes right down to it, if people want to know, there's no reason why they shouldn't know. I mean, we're not doing magic back there. It is a day-to-day business of getting stuff out to the bookstores.
Do you get blowback from people in the industry?
Not really. I think there's sometimes a concern that I am indiscreet, that, it's like, oh, don't tell John Scalzi this, because if you tell, then the entire world will know, which I find kind of amusing, because one of the things that I'm very careful about is I try to be personable, but I'm not very personal. I don't talk about stuff that I don't feel is appropriate to talk about. So there's a little bit of blowback, and sometimes when I'm calling out someone who I think is doing a bad practice, they'll come to the website and go, well, let me explain myself. And I think that's all to the best. I do try not to do things just to get a reaction. There's no sense in doing that. If you're going to make a stand, or if you're going to make a statement about something within the publishing industry, you want to make sure that there's some benefit other than just saying, look at me poking fun and, pointing a stick just to see what hornets will fly out. I'm not interested in that. I'm actually interested in having a dialogue.
I know one feature of your website that our readers really love is the big idea.
Right.
Because you feature a lot of authors either that they love already or that they're going to love as soon as they find them.
Right.
How do you choose who goes out?
A lot of it is just the people who ask me, hey, can I be in Big Idea? I try to make it as ecumenical as possible. I don't want it just to be science fiction or fantasy. I want it to have a whole wide range, because I don't think readers just read romance or just read science fiction or just read nonfiction. I think they read a lot of stuff. And I also think that a lot of people who think that they only read one type of thing will read more if they know a little more about it. So I try to get people in there who haven't been spotlighted before in the Big Idea. I try to get people who are close to the release dates, because if you raise someone's interest in a book, you want to be able to get them to go get that book right away. And like I said, after that, just go for a good mix of genres, good mix of authors, make sure that it represents not only what people expect, but what they're not expecting. You try to get as much as you can in there, basically.
Okay. Now, I know you were talking about spinning the big idea into its own site.
Right.
How's that going?
Well, the site has been built, and it's just a matter of plugging in all the stuff. But the thing is, there's 3 of us, and all of us actually have other jobs, which includes, in my case, writing. Another person is a production designer at a publishing house. So it's going slower than we would like. It's still the plan to do it, but in the meantime, it's doing just fine at the whatever. So
Okay, good.
either way, we're getting some good writers in there. So that's good.
Excellent.